It's 2023, I started up my GameCube. I'm looking at the screen, I say, ew, this is 480p. I don't want any of this garbage, I need to bump up things. I had the ray tracing, had the little bada bing, bada boom, here we go. The biggest limitation that this game, like all games from this time have, is the resolution. So, let's transport back to the ancient time of 2004. Back in the day, you played your games and watched your movies on these huge, but ugly pieces of I love these things. This is what I grew up with playing my games on in the GameCube and Xbox era, and I still love them for their bulkiness and unique look.
I think a lot of people today obsess about high quality graphics and crisp resolutions, but frankly, I don't care so long as the art style is engaging and the game's enjoyable.
Now, comparing this with this, I am blown away by how high quality and crisp this looks. This is truly a beautiful game. I don't know how others feel about this, but Paper Mario has been focusing on a style too heavily reliant on the paper aesthetic since Sticker Star. Look at this. This is overkill. But from the trailer footage shown already, this remake is doing what both Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario did perfectly, and that is balancing the paper feel in a digital style. While the environments are much more made of cardboard than from the original, it still doesn't seem to be going as overboard as the most recent entries have. I'm actually glad about this. The Thousand Year Door used paper in a very dynamic way and as a supplement to a lot of the ideas. And it sort of like was the string that held the entire thing together. There's a lot of very digital feeling. There's a lot of very 3D non-paper things going on in the environment. One example would be when you hit a button, the stairs move to a different spot, like they're swung around like paper. They show this in the trailer. This was in the original game. I love this use of the paper. As much as I have nostalgia for the olden days before HD, these graphics are beautiful, and I would totally drop $60 to buy this game just so I can experience it in crisp 1080p. It's not the biggest deal to me. I still love GameCube games, even if they're not 480p, but I do like the idea of being able to play these games with higher quality graphics, so long as the rest of the game and the actual integrity and style stays the same.
Alright, beyond the graphics, what about the controls?
It's hard to beat the GameCube controller. It's just the best. But that's for a different video. As far as in this game, there's nothing really to complain about. The controls are all high quality. And I know that segment was like, 10 seconds long? But there's really not much to say. So, let's move on to talk about a fantastic soundtrack. I could talk about this franchise's music for hours. I would love to talk about the best music in this franchise. Maybe at some point I'll get around to making a video about that. But this game has such a wacky electronic style. One thing I noted from the reveal trailer was some of the best tracks getting a significant upgrade. I love the original style, especially with the obviously synthesized strings. It's what gives the Thousand Year Door its charm music-wise. But at the same time, I do like the idea of them just doing a complete overhaul and making this music high quality and up to 2023 standards. From what they showed for the remake, it does seem to be giving this Polish. Sorry, I meant to say Polish. I read it in the script as Polish, but it's Anyways, this is one area that I actually think is in need of a remake because 20 years is a long time in the world of audio and there's a decent amount of compression on all of these tracks, and it would greatly benefit from having that increased file size to deal with. Because I mean, look at this. This is a GameCube disc. It's small. It can't hold that much. Audio and music doesn't really take priority on this, so screw it, we'll compress it down a little bit. Side note, truthfully, a game in even more need of redone audio would be this game's sequel, Super Paper Mario, because holy crap! For some reason, they decided to compress the ever-loving bejewsies out of this game's music and effects. And it doesn't make sense. I mean, look at this disc. Look at this disc. How did they make this disc have more compressed audio? They had more room to work with. This game is smaller. It's not this big 3D game. Everything's 2D. It doesn't make any sense. In conclusion, yes, this game aged well, but does it deserve a remake? I think so. The GameCube itself only sold around 22 million units, making it the second worst selling console Nintendo has produced, right above the Wii U. I guess you could count the Virtual Boy, but we don't talk about the Virtual Boy. To play this game, you would have to buy a GameCube out of this limited supply, as well as an actual copy of the game, which there are only 2 million of. Crunching the numbers, that's 9% of total GameCube sales, which means if you want to buy a copy of this game, the 20-some million people have to share those 2 million copies. Because of this lack of accessibility, because of both the game itself selling poorly and the GameCube selling poorly on top of this, means porting it over to a new platform, I had a stroke while writing this. Let me rewrite this real quick. Because of the lack of accessibility with both the game itself and the console it was made on, porting it over to a platform gives it a new opportunity to find a new audience and a bunch of new people that will enjoy this game for what it is. Not only this, but because of the declining interest in the Paper Mario series over the past decade, mainly because of stupid battle systems, cards, painting cards, rotating things, I don't know. Going back to what made the franchise great with unique characters, variations that are interesting of Toads and Goombas and all these different types of characters instead of just your generic stupid Toad. I can't put into words how much I hate Toads. Remaking the game that some consider to be the best entry in the franchise means that you get to expose a new audience to classic Paper Mario. And if it sells extremely well, which I assume it will, it gives Nintendo the indication to give this another try. This means a new Paper Mario could come that has what fans are begging for. Interesting characters, a good story, good RPG elements, strategy, not really lazy mechanics and puzzles that could be figured out by a 2-year-old. I hate lazy remasters and ports, so I'm glad to see Nintendo give this game the modern makeover it deserves. But if you can't wait until 2024, you can pick up a copy on eBay if you're willing to pay a bit of a premium, and it is every bit worth it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, comment down below what your favorite Paper Mario game is. I'd love to hear it. And if you love the music of the Paper Mario franchise, check out this cover I did of one of my personal favorite tracks in the franchise. With that, I will see you in the next video. Peace.